John Davis, how you doing, man?
Great.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Making the long trip from where are you from?
I live in Grayson, Georgia.
You are a business coach. What's your business called?
Well, it's Davis Business Coaching is the name of the
Right. And how long have you been doing it?
Well, there's two answers to that.
There you go.
The short answer is 3 months, but
Yep.
really it probably goes back about 15, 16 years. I was spent 26 years in corporate America.
Let's talk about that. What did you do in corporate America?
So I worked for companies that make commercial food service equipment.
Okay.
Usually refrigerators, cooking equipment, steamers, things that go into restaurants, large chains that you'd recognize, schools, colleges, prisons, all that.
And you sold directly to restaurants, or do you still to distributors?
No, it was through dealers.
Okay.
Through dealers, we had independent sales reps, dealers, service agents, etc.
And what did you do there?
So my degree is an engineer. I started in engineering.
Oh,
and then
okay.
I went to technical service, customer service. Then they realized I could talk to people. So they let me start talking about the product, moved into marketing strategy, business strategy, long-term strategy, just an evolution. So kind of a
There's
jack
where
of all
that
trades.
there's where that business coaching came from, because you were in there in those restaurants coaching them the whole time.
Well, and it was my employees.
Yeah.
Right. So my most recent job, I probably had 70 employees. Right. So
Right.
You're mentoring them, and you're trying to understand what are their goals, what are their aspirations, and what do they need to do to be successful. So it's very similar to what a business owner has.
For sure.
So that's why I say the long answer is 15, 16.
That's right. Yeah. You've been doing it, and so. So how did you come upon this franchise? Did you go to a broker or?
No, I didn't. Actually, it was an article in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution about franchises. I was trying to
They
figure
still
out.
make those things?
They do. It was online. It was a
Online,
tablet.
yeah.
And I was like, what am I going to do? I want to do something different. This isn't for me. This isn't aspirational. And just flipping through, well, what can I do with my skills and my talents? I came across business coaching. So I just started understanding, digging in, learning about the company. And I said, hey, I think that's a more noble calling.
Did you kind of stay in your lane in coaching? Did you go to those restaurants and the people that you knew, and that's kind of who you're business coaching right now, or who's your vertical?
Right now, I'm not too narrow, but I am kind of focusing on both manufacturing companies, fabricators, and restaurants. Now, actually, the clients I have aren't in either of those spots, but I have started in that space because I speak the language.
Yeah.
I understand the challenges. I can
It's
figure
easier
it
to
out.
talk to them.
Absolutely, and I can understand things. My daughter works in a restaurant, and I can see some things that they're doing that just pre-COVID, post-COVID, that probably just don't make a lot of sense, and I can just pick up on that a little.
There's
bit
a lot of that all over the place. People doing stuff that doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's what's so great about what you do is you're constantly learning about people's
I
business.
love
I mean,
it,
there's you cannot learn enough.
No, it's great. I love talking to different. That's part of the benefits.
Yeah.
Right? In my career, I was always dealing with one company every day. What are the challenges of this company? What are we going to do?
Yep.
Now I can work with 30 different companies.
Anybody.
Every day is a little bit different, and you learn something. And one person's challenge is not the next person's.
You're right.
So it's really rewarding.
I love it.
I was telling Jordan, I'm doing a process right now where I'm interviewing different companies, and that's part of that is building that knowledge base, building the knowledge base, and then sharing it with everyone else.
Sure. What's that
Sharing it.
interview look like?
That's about a 30-minute interview, 30, 40 minutes. Basically, most recently, I've been focusing on marketing and hiring. Right, there's two challenges that I think have come up the most in COVID. As you said, we talked earlier about your marketing changed in the last year. Your marketing and selling
completely.
changed, and really a discussion on what did you do before the pandemic, what did you do in the pandemic, and have you thought about what you're going to do differently coming out of the pandemic? Because some people in their businesses in 2021 and 22 will look like 19, and some will look totally different.
You're right.
Because it's a hybrid and it's something different.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Some people will go 2018, 19, and they're 23 and 24. I don't know about 21 or 22 because I think we're going to be in this for a little bit. But
Right.
they're 23 and 24 is going to look like 18, 19 because they're just going to go back to what they were doing because it worked.
Yeah, but their business model, look at in corporations, are people going back in the office or not? People are trying to figure that out.
Right.
Each business has to figure that out for themselves.
For sure.
For their culture, for their people that they have, for their clients, obviously, what they need to do. So it's an interview about what are you doing differently? And have you thought about it?
It's a lot about never go back to what we were doing. Ever. Like it's not
Here?
Yeah. No, it'll never be the same. It'll never be the same. I mean, this is too much fun. You know what I mean? Like podcasts
And it
are
works.
too much fun. I get to learn about businesses. I get to give a product to a business that's really good, and at this point we're not charging for it because we're trying to really get good at it. And I don't even that's another thing is I don't even know what to charge for it. Somebody's like, "How much does that cost?" I was like, "How much would you pay?" $2,000. I was like, God, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Done. Sold.
Well, one of the things we
sold.
talk about is test and measure.
Yeah.
Right. So
Okay.
you can ask 5 people, hey, you want to pay $200?
Yeah.
You can ask 5 more people, 500. You ask a couple more, test it,
That's right.
find out when they drop off.
It's all.
The nice thing about small businesses is they're willing and able to change faster. Having worked in large corporations, they have all the power in the world and all the money in the world, the freedom to make quick changes because you have too much to lose.
Right.
It's very conservative. Small businesses like, hey, I'm going to try this.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Some of them
What's
will.
going to hurt?
Yeah.
Some of them will for sure. Years ago.
That's one of the things we help people with is creating systems so they can repeat it, right? And then they
Sure.
can train somebody else, right? So if they're out on vacation, they're out sick, someone else can learn it. So the simpler your system is, the easier it is to train somebody
right.
else to do it.
That's right. Yeah.
Really, an ideal client is somebody who's grown and then plateaued, because a lot of times the business gets stalled really at the capacity of the owner because they haven't enough time or wherewithal to delegate. So an ideal candidate in any vertical in Georgia, 5 to 30 people that really just wants to blow the doors off. They've grown their business, they've got it stable, and they're like, hey, how do I make this thing explode?
Okay.
That's a ideal client for me.
And
right now.
any like specific verticals?
I have experience in fabrication, manufacturing, and food service. So that's somewhere where I speak the language. I can help people the quickest and the fastest. But I'm working with somebody who does legal recruiting, marketing, filmmaking, fitness.
Yeah. It's
Right.
amazing what kind of perspective you can get from outside looking in going, well, have you thought about this and thought about this?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
I was meeting with someone yesterday, and I was talking to him, and I was just asking some questions. I said, look, I don't know anything about your business, but could you do this, 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 and this?
Yeah.
And just seeing like the light bulb go off and the smile, he's like, I never thought of that.
That's right.
Because he's not encumbered, or he's encumbered by all the challenges he's feeling. As somebody who's outside the business could see it just a little bit different.
That's right. That's right. And what's next? Tell me about the seminars you're doing.
Yeah, so we do twice a month. I do seminars. We call them 6 Steps to a Better Business. They're complimentary, and it's a great way to learn about how to improve your business, learn about coaching, figure out if it's right for you. But even if you choose that it's not for you and you don't need it, you still learn it, because we talk about the business basics and what are the levels. You start with trying to master your business all the way up to where we want to take business owners, is to where their business creates a passive income, right? Where they don't have to work in the business. They can choose to if they want to.
Sure.
Because if you don't have a business that works without you, when you go to retire, you can't hand it off to the next family member, or you can't sell it.
That's right.
So how do you pull all that equity out of the business that you created over 20, 30, 40 years?
Cool. How can I get a hold of you? How can people get a hold of you?
So, yeah, just John Davis at actioncoach.com. That's the easiest way.
Cool.
And I'll get back in touch with you right
And
away.
I can. How do I get on the webinar?
So there's registrations on the website.
Okay.
Right? On the website, there's a lot of registrations, or just email me and I'll make it happen.
Awesome. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to doing this in a year. Just to see,
I'll have a lot of stories
just
for
to
you.
see where you are, because I know you're gonna do well. But I want to see where the business goes, because it'll change just because of life itself.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. I really do appreciate
Absolutely.
the opportunity. Thank you for
Yeah, of
inviting
course.
me.
Thanks, guys. Everybody, be kind to each other out there.